The elders used to say, "A clean house feels cool, clean bowls make meals taste better." But on a deeper level, a clean home also means clean energy. Not sweeping dust with a broom, but clearing space through awareness, through recognizing who makes your heart feel heavier and who makes it feel lighter, through having the courage to close the door to visits that carry chaos. Not because you are arrogant, but because you understand that peace is not something anyone else can protect for you. Have you ever noticed that every time someone leaves your home, the room suddenly feels so heavy that you just want to sit in silence for a long while? Not because they said anything wrong, but because their energy lingers in the air, leaving your heart strangely exhausted. We often think a house only needs to be cleaned of dust, but few realize that what truly drains us isn't the dust on the floor, but the energy embedded in the walls, in the words, in the gazes of those who have stepped inside. There are days when you do nothing at all, just sit quietly at home, yet still feel bored, trapped, restless, wanting to escape the very place you live in. That isn't because you are weak, but because the home that was meant to be a sanctuary has quietly become a storage space for other people's energy. We open our doors to friends, family, colleagues, but sometimes, without realizing it, we also invite in complaints, control, jealousy, and emotional drama that was never ours to carry. And then one day, you realize you can no longer feel at peace in the very home you once loved. Today, we're talking about 5 types of people you may need to keep outside your door, not because you hate them, but because you love your own peace. Because if your mind is a temple, then your home is the energetic boundary that protects your soul. And you, no one else, are the gatekeeper, the true meaning of a home. People often think a home is simply a shelter for the body. But if you look more closely, you'll see that a home is also a mirror reflecting your soul. Every corner, every beam of light, every sigh still hanging in the air tells a story about how you live, how you love, and how you face yourself. Some people live in large mansions yet constantly feel suffocated. Others live in a small room, but the moment they open the door, peace flows in. The difference isn't the size of the space, it's the energy they allow the home to carry. I once visited a beautiful house. Everything looked perfect. Brand new sofa, bright lighting, scented candles burning everywhere. But just a few minutes after sitting down, I felt as if something was tightening around my chest. The air felt heavy, even though no one said anything negative. Later, I learned that the homeowner lived in constant tension. She often welcomed friends who came to vent, cry, argue, then leave. Her home was no longer a place of rest. It had become an emotional dumping ground, and that energy clung to every wall, every object, something no scented candle could ever hide. We often think of energy as an abstract concept, but in reality, it's very tangible. It lives in the tone of voice, in a glance, in the way someone enters a room. Every time you bring anxiety home, the house absorbs it like a sponge soaking up water. Every time you allow someone inside while their anger remains unresolved, that energy anchors itself, waiting to resurface. Then one day, you suddenly feel exhausted for no clear reason, simply because the soul of the house is struggling to breathe. Have you noticed that when you feel tired, just tidying your room, wiping down a table, opening a window and letting the light in can instantly make your mind feel lighter? That isn't just psychology. That is energy being released. Your home, in its deepest sense, is an extension of your mind. When the house is cluttered, the mind becomes tangled. When the space is filled with people carrying heavy energy, your mind slowly absorbs that fatigue. But when you know how to keep your space clean and clear, you are healing yourself every single day. I once met a middle-aged man living alone in a small house on the outskirts of town. He told me, "I don't have many visitors, but this house has never felt lonely." Every morning, he spoke to his home as if it were a friend. He played soft music, brewed a cup of tea, and expressed gratitude for still having a place to return to. He believed that every object in the house carried living energy, and when he treated them with kindness, they responded with peace. I once sat with him, listening only to the wind moving through the curtains, and realized that there truly are places where, even without human voices, there is warmth and life. A home is not just a shelter from rain and sun. It is where your soul is allowed to breathe fully. That's why you must pay attention to what and who you allow to enter. Not only who has the key to your door, but who you allow to exist in your mind. That person is already inside your home. Judgments, complaints, unspoken anger. These are all guests sleeping in that space. And if you don't clear them out, they will remain, slowly taking the place of your peace. The elders used to say, "A clean house feels cool, clean bowls make meals taste better." But on a deeper level, a clean home also means clean energy. Not sweeping dust with a broom, but clearing space through awareness, by recognizing who makes your heart feel heavy and who makes it feel light, by having the courage to close the door to visits that bring chaos with them. Not because you're arrogant, but because you understand that peace is not something anyone else can hold for you. A peaceful home doesn't need to be beautiful. It only needs to be a place where you don't have to tense up to be someone else. A place where you can take off the mask you wear outside. A place where you are not judged, not required to prove anything, not expected to say the right words. If even inside your own home you still have to perform, then no matter where you go, you will never truly rest. Protecting the energy of your home is protecting the energy of your soul. Before you clean your house, clean your mind. Before you open the door to let someone in, ask yourself, does this person bring lightness, or do they carry weight? And before you blame life for being too noisy, look again. Are you the one opening the door and inviting the noise in? Spend 15 minutes sitting quietly in your own home. No phone, no music. Just listen to the air around you. Notice which spaces make you feel at ease and which ones feel heavy. Then begin changing from there. Tidy a corner, open a window, light a stick of incense. Say thank you. Because sometimes healing doesn't begin with distant journeys, but with learning how to be still in your own home and truly feel at peace there. The first type, the complainer. There is a kind of person who, the moment they step into your home, makes the air feel heavy like rain is about to fall. They don't need to speak loudly. Just a few casual remarks are enough to make the light in the room seem dimmer. This is the chronic complainer, the person who has turned dissatisfaction with life into a way of living. You recognize them quickly. They sit down and start listing things. Traffic is terrible, the weather is harsh, prices keep rising, children won't listen, coworkers are stupid, life is unfair. They can talk for hours without realizing they are exhaling negativity into the space. At first, you may sympathize. You think maybe they just need to vent. But then every meeting is the same. Not a few bad days, but an entire lifestyle built around suffering. The strange thing is, people who complain the most rarely change. They talk about problems but never look for solutions. What they really need is an audience, someone to witness their misery. And if you listen for too long, you'll feel your own energy pulled down. First comes compassion, then fatigue, then slowly, emptiness, as if you're being drawn into a bottomless whirlpool. I once knew a woman like this. She wasn't a bad person, she just carried constant resentment toward life. Every time we met, there was a new list. My child doesn't listen. My husband doesn't understand me. I work hard, but always get taken advantage of. I tried advising her. I tried encouraging her. I tried helping her see things differently. But the more I spoke, the more reasons she gave for why nothing could ever improve. One day, I realized something. She didn't want help. She wanted suffering. Suffering had become her identity, the thing that made her feel like she existed. Complaining to others became a way to avoid responsibility. Because as long as everything is blamed on circumstances, she never has to change herself. It was also a way to receive attention. In pain, she felt seen. What she didn't realize was that every complaint is like a tiny needle piercing the space. It passes through the listener, making the shared energy heavier and murkier. A friend once compared complainers to someone standing in the rain, pointing at the clouds and blaming the sky for getting wet. They don't realize the rain isn't aimed at anyone. Life is the same, it's just happening. We suffer not because it rains, but because we keep trying to force the rain to stop on our terms. If you let complainers stay close for too long, you'll slowly start becoming like them. You begin noticing flaws everywhere. The workday wasn't productive enough. People don't understand you enough. Gratitude fades, replaced by a sense of lack, and before you know it, you've become another link in the endless chain of complaints. The only way out is to set gentle but firm boundaries. You don't need to argue or fix them. Just learn to keep distance in words, in time, in space. If you must listen, listen without letting your emotions be dragged along. Understand this. They are not bad people. They simply haven't learned how to live in acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means seeing things as they are without commentary, without judgment. When it rains, you find shelter. When the wind blows, you put on a jacket. You don't demand that the sky change its mind. And it's in that acceptance that peace begins to take root. I once told my complaining friend, if life always exhausts you, maybe it's not because life is too heavy, but because you're trying to pull it in a different direction. 8. She fell silent for a long time. Sometimes, a single moment of realization is where healing begins. But not everyone is ready, and your responsibility is not to change them. It is to keep your own peace intact. So if someone enters your home and sees only flaws, smile and let them go. Don't allow another person's complaints to become the heartbeat of your home. Don't let your mind turn into a mirror reflecting their bitterness. Choose silence. Choose to protect the light you carry. You cannot teach happiness by sitting with someone in their suffering. You can only illuminate by standing in your own peace. When someone complains, don't react immediately. Take a deep breath, smile, listen as if you're listening to the wind passing by. Then ask yourself, do I really need to carry this story with me? And when you return home, leave that energy outside the door. Don't bring it in because your peace is not something others give you. It is a discipline you practice to protect your mind from burdens that were never yours. The second type, the energy drainer. There are people who walk into your home and leave no mess behind, yet somehow make you feel like you need to clean afterward. Not the floor, but your mind. After they leave, you feel empty, exhausted, as if you've carried something unbearably heavy for someone else. They don't do anything wrong. They simply carry a deep hunger to be noticed, to be cared for, to be acknowledged. And when the door opens, they don't enter as guests, but as people looking for a place to recharge. Energy drainers are not evil. They are people who haven't learned how to fill themselves. They survive on the energy of others, like a tree that doesn't know where its roots are, reaching out to cling to the trunk beside it. They tell sad stories, complain, and repeat old pain. They want to be heard, but they don't want to understand anything new. Every piece of advice gets dismissed, because if the problem were solved, they'd lose their reason to receive attention. And so suffering becomes their ticket to remain inside someone else's story. I once had a friend like this. Every time we met, she talked nonstop. Work was stuck. Her partner was distant. Friends were indifferent. I listened. I comforted her. I shared my energy. But the next time, it was exactly the same. She didn't want to go out, because in that suffering, she was at the center. That's when I realized my mistake. I thought helping her was kind, but in reality, I was allowing her to live off my energy. There are people like this. They don't come to connect. They come to recharge. They take nothing material. They take your peace. And after they leave, it can take hours, sometimes days, for you to regain your balance. Not because you are weak, but because you allowed them to drain the energy that should have been reserved for yourself. The only way to avoid being emptied is to recognize the moment you are being taken from. Pay close attention to how you feel after every encounter with someone. If you feel lighter, that's a person worth keeping. If you feel drained, diminished, or find yourself forcing the conversation to continue, then it may be time to gently close the door. Gently but firmly. Keeping distance is not selfish. It is the discipline of those who choose to live with healthy energy. The third type, the performer. There is another kind of person who doesn't drain your energy through complaining, but through the spotlight. They enter your home and instantly turn it into their stage. Every story revolves around me. I just bought a new house. I know someone famous. I won this award. I was praised for that. You don't hear anything real, only the applause they imagine in their own head. Performers are deeply afraid of being forgotten. They live on other people's attention. Without an audience, they feel meaningless. They don't come to share. They come to be seen. Every story, every gesture is a performance meant to prove that they are still important, still special. But the irony is this: the more they feel the need to prove themselves, the emptier they are inside. I remember a small gathering once. While everyone else was laughing and talking, there was one person who constantly interrupted to tell stories about herself. Yesterday, I met Celebrity X. I was just nominated for an award. I once taught a student who's now very famous. None of the stories were bad. They just left no space for anyone else. Someone beside me quietly said, "I realized I was sitting there, but it felt like I didn't exist." We have two Lees and Tez of this. People like this don't know how to truly be present. They don't actually listen because their mind is busy waiting for their next moment to shine. They don't see you. They only see their reflection in your eyes. And when they leave, the house fills with the hollow echo of emptiness, the silence after the stage lights turn off. The truth is, we've all had a little performer inside us at some point. Who hasn't wanted praise, recognition? But when being seen becomes a survival need, you lose the ability to truly live. Because you can't perform and feel at the same time. You can't hold a role and breathe like a human being. A peaceful home doesn't need an audience. It only needs people brave enough to live honestly. You don't have to show anything to be loved. Authenticity carries its own quiet magnetism, like a candle that doesn't need effort to shine. It only needs to be lit. Helping someone does not mean allowing them to drain you. True love sometimes means knowing when to stop, knowing not to let another person's emptiness consume your light. And don't forget to look inward. Are there moments when you too are performing without realizing it? After each encounter, ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm around them? If you feel lighter, cherish them. If you feel heavy, quietly reduce the time you spend together. And when you're with others, try sitting still, truly listening, not interrupting, not proving anything, just being fully present, because your energy is more valuable than you think. And sometimes healing doesn't come from giving more, but from learning how to protect what truly nourishes you. The fourth type, the comparer. There is a kind of person who enters your home and immediately begins measuring. Their eyes sweep across the walls, pause at the table, then subtly tighten. They say nothing, yet you can clearly feel them comparing. They don't look at your home with feeling, but with an invisible ruler. Is your house better than mine? Are you living better than me? And within just minutes, that energy makes the air feel strange. Comparers never truly see beauty, because in their mind, everything is placed on a scale. They can't enjoy a good meal without wondering who is eating something better. They can't compliment you sincerely without immediately searching for a flaw to restore balance. They live inside a competition with no real opponent, only shadows of others they create to torture themselves. I once had a friend like this. Every time she visited, she found a way to compare. Your living room is brighter than mine, but my kitchen is probably more practical. At first, it sounded harmless, but over time, I realized she wasn't really there to see me. She was there to check her position on the invisible value ladder in her head. After a few visits, I felt exhausted because every conversation wasn't a meeting. It was an inventory check. People who live by comparison don't realize that no one wins that race. Because the moment you're ahead of someone, you're already behind someone else, and the constant comparer is forever unsatisfied. Their world is divided into better, worse, higher, lower, good, bad. And when they enter your home, they bring that ruler with them. Before long, you start seeing everything through the same lens. The chair you once loved suddenly looks old. The room that once felt warm now feels like it's missing something. In truth, it's not the house that's been poisoned. It's your perception. Comparison cuts joy away from the present moment. It replaces gratitude with a sense of lack. And when the mind is constantly measuring, you no longer live in reality. You live in rankings. The fifth type, the dramatic one. There is another type even harder to deal with than the comparer, the person who carries drama. They don't know how to exist in peace. For them, life only feels meaningful when there's something to worry about, something to talk about. If there's no drama, they will create it. They live in chaos, and if things stay quiet too long, they become afraid. I once lived with someone like this. Every day there was a small storm. If the neighbor spoke loudly, she was offended. If someone didn't reply to a message, she overanalyzed. If a small issue happened, it immediately became proof that life was against her. The atmosphere in the house was always tense, like a string pulled too tight. You'd think comforting her would calm things down, but no peace is unfamiliar territory for someone addicted to drama. They can't tolerate silence, because silence forces them to hear themselves. These people feed on emotional turbulence. They pull you into it, demand reactions, worry, involvement. If you stay calm, they say you're cold. If you offer feedback, they feel attacked. They need your reaction to feel real, and if you're not careful, you become a supporting character in their script. It took me a long time to understand this. Not everyone wants peace. Some people are addicted to chaos like a drug. They need stimulation to avoid facing the emptiness inside. And what you can do is not to save them from their drama, but to refuse the role. When they exaggerate everything, stay silent. When they try to pull you into conflict, don't follow. Say, I understand how you feel, but I don't want to lose my calm. When they try to make you feel guilty for not reacting, smile and step out of the story. You are not cruel. You are protecting your inner stillness. Your home and your mind were not created to be someone else's stage. They exist so you can return, breathe, and live honestly. If you keep letting drama in, sooner or later it will turn your home into noise, and you will lose your own voice. Comparison steals gratitude. Drama makes us forget a simple truth. Peace already exists within us. You cannot protect peace if you keep opening the door to people who live by measuring noise. Learn to stay silent. Don't react. Don't compare. Don't get pulled in. If someone makes you feel like you need to prove something, stop. You don't need to win to be loved. If someone brings chaos, observe quietly instead of diving in. Calmness is not weakness. It is the strength of someone who understands themselves. Before sleep, ask yourself, why was my mind noisy today? Because of whose story? If it wasn't yours, return it quietly. Sometimes the strongest way to protect your energy is not building walls, but keeping your mind steady amid other people's storms. Protecting the energy of the soul's home. In the end, what matters is not only who we avoid, but what we preserve. Peace doesn't come from pushing people away. It comes from building a space that truly fits you, a home where every corner carries the energy of awareness. Many people spend their entire lives searching for a place to rest, forgetting that peace doesn't live in another house, it lives in how we inhabit our own. You can move homes, but if your mind carries chaos, the new place will be noisy too. True peace begins when you realize the outer home is only a reflection of the inner one. I once knew an old man who lived alone in a small house among pine trees. He said, I don't try to make my home perfect, I try to make it honest. As every object had its place, not fancy, not impressive, but treated with respect. He cleaned each item as if in conversation, not for cleanliness, but for gratitude. If I live with gratitude toward my home, he smiled, it protects me too. That sentence stayed with me because it held something modern life has slowly forgotten. The dialogue between the soul and its living space. Have you noticed? A house always responds to its owner's energy. If you live in tension, the house feels tighter. If you carry gratitude, the space expands brighter, lighter. Plants look healthier. Light seems to reach deeper into the walls. Some call this feng shui, but really, it's just the energy of presence. When your mind is clear, the space clears. When your mind is heavy, no beautiful house can hide it. Look around your home. Is there a corner filled with things you haven't touched in a long time but can't let go of? Is there a room you avoid because it feels heavy? Those spaces don't just hold objects. They hold unprocessed memories, old energy still waiting to be released. Cleaning, at its deepest level, is clearing energy. Each time you let go of something you no longer need, you make room for new life to enter. Your home, like your soul, needs to breathe. Don't crowd it with too many objects, too many people, too many sounds. Leave space, because peace is born in emptiness, like the silence between two musical notes. Without it, sound becomes noise. And most importantly, choose who is allowed inside. Not everyone deserves to sit within the energy you're trying to protect. Some people bring light that warms your home. Others bring storms. You have the right to close the door. You have the right to say, "Today, I want quiet." Peace doesn't require permission. It is a boundary you set to protect your soul. At some point in life, you may realize that protecting peace is harder than protecting money. Money can be counted. Peace cannot. It's felt in quiet afternoons, when you sit alone, hear the wind outside, and realize your heart is no longer as crowded as it once was. That's mature happiness, being safe inside and out. Life is already loud. Let your home be quiet. Don't turn it into a waiting room for anxious souls. Don't let it become someone else's stage. Let it be a place you enter and exhale gently, where you can be yourself without proving anything. You cannot heal the world if you yourself are breaking. Start with the smallest space, your home. From there, peace spreads into how you speak, how you eat, how you love. Every time you clean your home, you are cleaning your life. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you preserve your energy. And every time you open the door to kindness, you invite light into your soul. Take a slow walk around your home. Touch each object and ask, does this still carry good energy for me? If not, let it go. One evening, turn off all devices. Sit quietly and listen to your home breathe. Thank it for holding you through every season. Write down 3 things that bring you the most peace in this space. Nurture them daily like tending a small garden. Because in the end, a home is not just where you live, it's where your energy comes to rest. Don't let anyone or anything take that away. And now, maybe it's time to ask yourself, is my home nourishing my soul or slowly draining it? If this resonated with you, leave a comment below, sharing how you feel about your home, both the outer one and the inner one. And if you want to continue these journeys of healing, self-understanding, and conscious living with me, follow the channel so that every next video becomes another doorway leading you back to yourself.